Hello.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, ma'am. Police Vanshi. Adjusting.
Hello.
Yes. Are you getting ready, all of you?
Yes, madam.
20 members only.
Okay, admit it.
కుంట్లా బాగున్నావా?
చాలా తక్కువ మంది వచ్చారు.
అందరూ విలేజెస్ కి ఏమైనా వెళ్ళారేమో కదమ్మా, ఫెస్టివల్ కదా.
చాలా తక్కువ మంది వచ్చింది మేడం, రేపు పెట్టండి క్లాస్.
జస్ట్ డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం నేనన్నా, సరేనా? వచ్చినందుకే
ఓకే
సరేనా? ఆల్మోస్ట్ వినండి, అటామిక్ సెక్షన్ నేను అయిపోయింది.
అందరూ పెట్టండి మ్యామ్.
మా
గ్రూప్ లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టారు మేడం, వస్తున్నట్టున్నారు ఒక్కొక్కరు.
గ్రూప్ లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టారా? ఏమని?
అదే మీరు క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ చేశారని పెట్టారు, ఇక అందరు వస్తారు.
వస్తారు.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మేడం.
ఏమొద్దులేండి, వింటున్నారా?
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మ్యామ్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మ్యామ్.
అటామిక్ లిసన్ చిల్డ్రన్, అటామిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్.
Good morning,
ఈరోజు మనము మాట్లాడుకుందాం, సరేనా? అటామిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్ తర్వాత టుమారో విల్ స్టార్ట్ పీరియాడిక్ టేబుల్. హలో,
Good morning, ma'am.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
సరే ఆయనతో
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
అబ్బా సార్.
Yeah.
Good morning ma'am.
See here, children. Good morning, ma. Listen, all of you. Good morning to everyone. See, beta. Yesterday we have seen that chromium, its atomic number is 24.
24.
And copper, its atomic number is 29. 29.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మ్యామ్.
Good morning. Listen, don't talk.
మ్యామ్ అన్మ్యూట్ us మ్యామ్. So much disturbance is coming, ma'am.
everyone.
अरे अभी
Yes, listen all of you. In yesterday's class, we have seen that chromium atomic number 24, copper atomic number 29. For your first year syllabus, you are going to learn only these two elements. Listen carefully. Listen carefully, because whatever we learn in this age, general I'm telling, whatever we learn, whatever we get educated in this age, it is not only for this intermediate or degree. Some things will influence our life also throughout. So like that, today I am going to tell you something that this is not only for your first year. This may be useful in second year also, or when you write the JEE mains exam, competitive exams. Okay, so listen carefully, all of you. For your first year, intermediate first year syllabus, you have anomalous electronic configuration. Abnormal electronic configuration, that is, which disobey, violates the Auger principle. Violates the Auger principle. Violates the Auger principle. But in the second year, you are going to learn some more elements also. Some more elements also. So means collectively, the first year and second year. The first year and second year. The first year and second year will helpful for the last exam, competitive exam. Okay. So see here all of you. Chromium 24. So condensed is argon, which represents 18. So for 24, I have written 28. Sorry, 18. So 24 minus 18 is how much? 6. So we have to write here. We have to write here 3D inside. I explained. 3D is in the third orbit, where 4 is in the outer orbit. So we write as what? 3D5, 4s1, which is abnormal electronic configuration. Without completing the electron in the low energy level 4s, the electron goes into 3D. But why it is? Because of Hund's rule of maximum spin multiplicity and half-filled configuration. Since all the 5 electrons are in spinning in same direction, symmetry, and as the number of unpaired electrons increases, they get exchange their position. Therefore, what happened? The stability increases. So this is what anomalous, abnormal, or special electronic configuration showed by chromium. In the same way, copper, whose atomic number is 29, so it is also showing what is special? Argon 18. So what you have here, up to argon is 18, then 4s2 will be 20. Remember, up to 4s2 20. Then what is left? 9. So we expect 3d9, 4s2. But if one of the electron shift in the from 4s2 to 3d9, become 3d10, 4s1. So because of completely filled, it is highly stable. Who is this? Hima Kartikeya. Hima Kartikeya, please note down beta. It is 3d10, 4s1. Hima Kartikeya, please note down 3d10, 4s1. Because 3d is present along with 3d is present along with 3s, 3p, which are present in third orbit. The 4 is in the fourth orbit. So as you move from nucleus to outside, you come as first orbit, second orbit, third orbit, fourth orbit. You should write like this: 3d10, 4s1. Shrikar, very good. Okay. Tomorrow I'll definitely send the notes. Yeah. So this is what special electronic configuration we see for first year. But remember, in second year, we learn for some more elements. I have written the notes in the night only. I will send you. See here, all of you. Nickel also shows. Palladium also shows. If you observe the electron, what is this? Long form of periodic table. Just below the nickel, whose atomic number is 28, you will find 46. Palladium. They exhibit a special electronic configuration, but you learn in second year. Okay, that is here. NS2 N minus D 8 must be there. N minus 1D 8 NS2 must be there. But here they exhibit what? N minus 1 D 10. This 2 will combine with 8. So as I wrote, this is 3D and this is 4S. So for nickel, it is what? 5S 4D. For palladium, 6S 5D. So N minus 1D 10 NS2. Because half-filled configuration is more stable. In the same way, you will find for platinum special electronic configuration. Special electronic configuration. And next, in F block, these 3, 4, 5, chromium, copper, nickel, palladium, platinum, these all are what? D block elements, where the last electron found in present in D sublevel, D block elements. Now you learn next chapter, and this about all this you learn in second year, but keep an idea. If you know now means you're ready for 3 more questions. So as if you learn basic, if the paper comes, okay, good paper, worthy paper, then some teachers may give these also to check the quality of student. So better to know this. Okay, so these elements show special electronic configuration, because if they just violate above, and they may get stability according to Hund's rule. So therefore, they shows special electronic configuration. And one more element in F block, you are going to learn in second year. Just remember, as I told, some trick. Palladium, whose atomic number is 46. So, in which is D block element. In F block, that is 4F and 5F series you learn. That is lanthanides and actinides. In lanthanides, there is an element. See, PD, remember GD, gadolinium. PD is D block, 46 atomic number. GD, gadolinium. Just remember gladiator. Okay? So, now, how to remember its atomic number? Just simply, PD 46, GD 64. So, you can remember. So, it is a simple trick to learn even next also. So, gadolinium, this F block element, this one also shows special electronic configuration. Okay, which violates Auger principle, but they are stable according to Hund's rule, symmetry, more exchange energy. Okay, then as I told that the D block elements and F block elements, they exhibit magnetic property, means behaves as magnet. When these D and F block elements and their compounds, when they are kept in contact with external magnet, they get attracted. They get attracted to the magnet. Any substance which attract the magnet is called diamagnetic in nature. DIA, diamagnetic in, which is paramagnetic in nature. Okay, PARA, paramagnetic in nature, and which is non-magnet is known as DIA, diamagnetic in nature. So The compound is paramagnetic because they contain unpaired electrons. They must contain unpaired electron. At least one. If any compound which contains at least one unpaired electron in its orbitals will act as magnet. Will act as a magnet. So for 3D series means chromium, copper, iron, nickel, scandium. So in 3D series you have scandium whose atomic number is 21. So in 3D series scandium to copper 29. The zinc is no more paramagnetic. So these have at least one unpaired electron because this is scandium 3D1 and copper is 3D9. So it will have at least one unpaired electron. So they're called as what? Transition elements. Very good. Stricker gave answer. Okay. Because of at least one unpaired electron, they undergo change in position of the electron within the d sublevel. So I'll just write down here. It is what? D sublevel. As I told, the large box is L equal to 2 D sublevel, and in which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. M are present, which are orbitals, magnetic quantum number, whose value is -2 to +2. So total 5 M values. Each one is orbital. So any orbital or any element of this series contain at least one electron. They act as magnet. And since these unpaired electrons change their position from one orbital to another, or one orbit to another, they undergo change in position. Remember, lower to higher orbit or higher to lower orbit, or within the orbit, the change of position means change of position of electron is known as transition. Transition means change. So because of this reason, they exhibit color. Okay. And any substance which contain at least one unpaired electron, they act as magnet. So here, this unpaired electron will change its position with other d vacant orbitals, hence shows color. So such are called as transition elements. So now you have a question here. This will come in atomic structure for this week. Definitely must come. I'll write in the notes. If not there in the material, this definitely comes. It is within the first year syllabus. So there is a formula to calculate magnetic moment of these elements. Mu is, this is what mu. Just write U and pull its legs. Sounds mu, mu. It is given as root over small n into n plus 2, whose value comes in Bm, Bohr magnetons. So you are going to calculate the how much of magnetic momentum is there for paramagnetic substances. So here n is number of unpaired electrons. N is number of unpaired electrons. So listen better here. This formula is applicable to only for 3D series. This formula is applicable to only 3D series. That is scandium to copper only. Scandium to copper. Not for 4D series, not for 5D series, not for 6D series, or F and in F block also. It is only for 3D series, that is scandium to copper. By use of this formula, you can calculate the magnetic strength of the element or its ion. Okay. So as I told, this is what applicable to D series. Now D sublevel having how many orbitals? Tell me the answer, please, all of you. D sublevel. Type it. D sublevel contain how many orbitals? Very good. So each orbital can have, who is this giving 6? No, better 5 it is. D sublevel will have a 5 orbital. Just I told that D is a sublevel for which L equal to 2. And M, magnetic quantum number, is orbital. Magnetic quantum number value depends on L. So how many M values possible? 5. -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. The each M value is a orbital. Now just use your common sense and tell me how many maximum unpaired electrons are possible. Just common sense. As everyone told that the 5 D sublevel contain 5 orbitals. How many maximum unpaired electrons possible in D sublevel? So give me once again 5. Yes, because madam is telling since 4-5 days that each orbital can accommodate 2 electrons, and according to Pauli's principle, these 2 electrons must spin in opposite direction. So one orbital contain 2 electrons. This is one electron spinning in upward direction, and this is another electron. It is spinning in downward direction, plus half, minus half. So each orbital can accommodate 2 electrons. And how many orbitals in the D sublevel? 5 orbitals. So total number of electrons in the D sublevel, 10. 10 as 5 pairs. 10 as 5 pairs. So how many unpaired electrons? 5. So total electrons are 10, which are spin paired. So how many unpaired electrons are? 5. So here each D can accommodate 1 electron. So how many maximum unpaired electrons possible in the D elements? 5. So this N value is what? Only 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. You cannot write N equal to 6 because D sublevel can have maximum 10 electrons as pair and 5 electrons as unpaired. And here N is what? Unpaired electrons. Okay? 5 is unpaired electron. So now I'm going to give you a small calculation, and the calculation will be asked to you. See here, all of you. To calculate magnetic moment, the formula is mu is equals to root over n into n plus 2. The value comes in Bohr magneton. I will tell you what is the story of this Bohr magneton later. The scientist same, Niels Bohr, great scientist. Now where n is beta unpaired electron, it must be unpaired. So if anybody asks what is the maximum n value in this formula? 5 only. So you may have n can be 1 unpaired electron, n can be 2 unpaired electrons, n can be 3 unpaired electrons, n can be 4 unpaired electrons, n can be 5 unpaired electrons. If you put here n value 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So what will be the value mu if it is n equal to 1? 1. In bracket what? 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. So root over 3. What do you get here? Root over 3. And everyone knows root over 3 is 1.732. 1.732. It is n equal to 2. What happens? N plus 2 is n equal to 2. N plus 2 is So n plus 2 is 4. Then outside is what? 2. So 2 fours are 8. So what do you get? Root over 8. What will be the value of root over 8? Root 9 we know. 3. So it is 2 point around 9. 8, 9. In the same way, n equal to 3. N plus 3 plus 2, 5. Then 5 3 is a 15. Root over 15. Everyone knows square root of 16 is 4. So this is what? Less than 4. 3.9 around. In the same way, n equal to 4. 4 plus 2, 6. 6 4s are 24. So everyone knows square root of 25 is 5. This is less than 5. So 4.9 nearly. In the same way, who is this? 5.9 gave. Now, n is maximum 5 only if n equal to 5. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 5 is 35. And everyone knows square root of 36 is 6. So this value is obviously 5.9 and all these values comes in Bohr magnetons. So here you will be asked if any ion or element contain so and so unpaired electrons. Use this formula and do this calculation. So if in question you get one unpaired electron, directly you can go for value. In option, you will get 4 options. What is that? See, 1 electron, before decimal 1 is there. Without doing, if you forgot the formula, 2 unpaired electrons, before decimal 2, if you find 2, before decimal 2.9, 2.87, answer is this. Because you are going to get in multiple choice, out of this 5 only as 4 options. That is common sense. You are not going to get 2.5 like that, 2.5, 2.89. You will get what? Out of this 5 only as 4 choices. So if number of unpaired electrons are 3, 3.9. So before decimal 3 is there. And number of unpaired electrons 4. So before decimal 4. Number of 5 electrons before decimal 5. So though you forgot the formula, you can use this technique. Okay. So this is for only applicable for 3D series. I will send you this notes also. And here I'll tell you what is this Bohr magneton. It is what proposed by many scientists, especially Bohr. It's a unit. 1 Bohr magneton. Okay. It is a unit. 1 Bohr magneton value is equals to EH by 4 pi mc, where E is because it's a property of electrons. E is the charge of electron. Everyone knows what is the charge? 1.602 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. H is Planck's constant. 6.6256 10 to the power minus 34 joule or joule. Seconds. Next, 4 is 4. Pi is 3.14. M is mass of electron. Mass of electron. That is 9.109 10 to the power minus 31 kgs. And here, C is velocity of light, which is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. When you substitute all these values, you will get the value of 1 Bohr magneton. So, you will get this value as 1 Bohr magneton is 9.28 into 10 to the power minus 24 joule per Tesla. Per Tesla. Tesla is a unit for a magnetic property. So this will come in atomic structure, next chapter periodic table, and in second year many times in solid state, electrochemistry, and D block elements. So this is very, very important. So therefore I have given now, and with a shortcut you have to do. Number of unpaired electrons is 1. The value is 1.732. Before decimal 1 is there. Number of unpaired electrons 2 is there. Before decimal in the value 2 you have to find. Number of unpaired electrons. Number of unpaired electrons 4. In the option select which contain 4 before the decimal. Okay, so this is what applicable to only 3D series. Then what about others? Simply the angular momentum of orbital plus angular momentum of spin of electron. You have to take. Rarely asked this one. Only it is asked in second year, not now. Okay. Now, beta, here. Suppose you are asked to calculate. You are asked to calculate mu of magnetic moment of a manganese. Manganese ion, Mn plus 2. How you do? How you do? Mn plus 2, manganese ion. Mu of manganese ion, Mn plus 2. So, you first know the manganese atomic number. Manganese is 25. So, 25, same right as copper you have written. What is that? Up to argon is 18. 25 minus 18. How much left? 7. So, what do you get here? 4:3d5. Did you got 18 plus this 4:2, 20. And 3d5, 25. So, 4:2 is paired up electrons. Paired electrons. And 3d5, how many number of unpaired electrons? 5 unpaired electrons. So, manganese ion contain N equal to 5 unpaired electron. Therefore, put in the formula mu is equals to N equal to 5. Put in the formula mu is equals to root over 5 into 5 plus 2. The value comes in Bohr magneton, that is 5 plus 2, 7. 7 5s are 35. So that is 5.9 or 5.8987 also you may get. So I have round up this 87 to 9. Chalta. Okay, beta. So, and sometime you may be asked like this. In option, which of the following ion or element or species which contain same mu value, magnetic momentum value as manganese Mn plus 2. So for this, what do you want? The basic concept of atomic number and how you get charge. The plus charge is produced by loss of electron. Plus charge is produced by loss of electron. Luckily, we see these all questions in D block and F block. Listen, all of you better. Luckily, we see this question, this type of question in D and F block. So, why luckily? Here I told that you are going to get a positive charge. In what case you get a positive charge? By loss of electron. And any element which is having tendency to lose electron and get positive charge, they are electropositive elements. Electropositive elements which all are metals. So remember all the D and F block elements. D and F block elements all are what? Metals. They form only cations. Only cations. Never form anion. Cation means positive charge. So simply remember 3D series. Scandium to zinc. Elements atomic number. Then remove the number of electrons equal to positive charge. You will get. Okay. So here, if it is asked any question, which of the following in options, which of the following will have the same magnetic moment or same number of unpaired electrons as manganese, Mn plus 2. So you have to check, cross check. So here see, that is ferric you will get, Fe plus 3. Ferric is one example I am giving. How, madam? Just now you told that Mn is 25. So argon 18 and 4s2 3d5. So as madam told, it is Mn plus 2. Plus 2 means remove 2 electrons. Where from you remove electron? Outermost shell. So 4s is outermost shell. Remove these 2 electrons and in the place, this is what? 0. No electron. Now 25 become 25 minus 2, 23. And charge. So remove the number of electrons equal to charge present on the element from the outermost level. So now this is having total of how many electrons? 23 electrons are present. So these two must have 23 electrons. So I told what is the answer? Ferric. So ferric is say here iron whose atomic number is 26. So how you write? Argon 18 up to 4s to 20. 18 plus 2, 20. Remaining is 3d6. So the charge now, the charge you have a plus 3 on the iron, ferric. So remove 3 electrons. So 26 minus 3 electron, you are getting 23 electrons. So 2 electrons from the 4s, 4s 0. And next, 1 more electron from the 3d6, 3d5. And this become 23 plus 3. So both are having same number of unpaired electrons, therefore same mu value. Is that clear? So it's my request that you are not going to learn all the elements atomic numbers. Just remember the atomic numbers of 3D series, scandium to zinc. And this is my homework for today because you are going to do periodic table from tomorrow. Okay? Give thumbs up to this one if you obey this one. Yes, thank you. So you are going to learn by tomorrow morning. You are going to tell me what is that? Scandium to zinc atomic number and their electronic configuration. Okay? Scandium 21, zinc 30. You must carry this in your pocket. Pocket means your mind. You are not going to pocket dress. You are going to what? You have a pocket. Great pocket is your brain. So in your brain, you put these elements atomic number always with you. This will help you a lot. And remaining groups, automatically you will learn. But remember 3D series. Few elements are important. I also know very few elements. I don't know all the 118 elements. Okay? Some techniques you must learn. Okay, beta? So the time is running up. It is 1.29. So this is what? Only for 3D series. And this is not going to, this formula, what is this? Mu is equals to square root over n into n plus 2 whose value comes in Bohr magneton only for 3D series, but not for 4D series, but not for 5D series, but not for 6D series. There is no 7D series. Now it is filled. 7th period is incomplete. And this is applicable for all the F block elements, not applicable for the F block elements. So for this, what you take instead of this formula, what do you take? Mu, that is angular momentum of orbital, which I gave this formula in quantum numbers. L plus capital S is equals to square root over small l into L plus 1 plus root over small s into s plus 1 and common is h by 2 pi. Because this magnetic momentum color property of D and F block elements is due to unpaired electrons. And electron is spinning around its axis. Therefore spin quantum number. Spin